Hey everybody, welcome to the Children's Sermon. I'm reading our new Bible, the Usborne Book of Bible Stories. And I'm going to read you this story in just a second here. It is called Joseph and His Amazing Coat. That's right, a story about a coat. Weird, but it's actually a story about so much more than that. Joseph's a really important figure in a lot of ways in the scriptures, and his role in what he does has so many implications for the long-term story that we read about in the Bible every day. So I want to share this story with you and the way they tell it in the Usborne Bible story book of Bible stories. Having trouble with my words today. And then I have some ways that we're going to reflect on this together. So here we go. Here's the story.
This is Joseph with Jacob, his father. Joseph had 11 brothers. Benjamin was the youngest. They lived in Canaan long ago. Jacob loved Joseph best. He gave Joseph a wonderful coat. Joseph's brothers were very jealous and hated him. Joseph looked splendid in his coat. One brother said, "Let's kill him." But another said, "No, let's sell him as a slave." The brothers put blood on Joseph's coat. They took it home. "Father," they said, "this is Joseph's coat." Jacob thought Joseph was dead. Joseph was taken to Egypt to be sold. "I'll buy him," said Potiphar, captain of the king's guard. "He can run my house for me." Potiphar's wife made trouble for Joseph. "He's rude to me," she said. It was not true, but Potiphar had Joseph put in prison. The king had a strange dream. He dreamed that 7 fat cows came out of the Nile, then 7 very thin cows came out. "What does it mean?" said the king. The king's wise men and priests did not know. One said, "Joseph is good at telling what dreams mean." "Bring Joseph here," said the king. "Your dream means good harvests for 7 years, then 7 bad years," said Joseph. Joseph was put in charge of harvests. During the 7 good years, he stored lots of food away. Then the 7 bad hungry years came. Jacob sent his sons to buy food. Joseph saw them. "They are my brothers," he thought, "but they don't know who I am." The brothers took the food home. On the way, guards stopped them. In a sack they found a gold cup. Joseph had hidden it there. The brothers were taken to Joseph. "You may go home, but you must leave your brother Benjamin here with me," said Joseph. "Please keep us. Let Benjamin go home, or it will break our father's heart," the brothers said. Joseph saw his brothers had changed. "I am your brother Joseph," he said. "Send for our father, and we will all live well in Egypt."
Okay, so that story is all about forgiveness, isn't it? Joseph has this horrible thing happen to him by his brothers. And then he ends up as a slave in Egypt. And then he gets into even more trouble with Potiphar's wife. So much going on there. But in the end, Joseph plays such an important role in helping his brothers and his family out. And more than that, Joseph forgives his brothers. Can you imagine? That must have been so hard to do. After everything that his brothers had done to him, the terrible situation they put him in, and Joseph had a heart big enough to forgive them. So that's what this story is really about. It's about forgiveness and the ways that we can and that we're called to be very forgiving of others. So here, I want to show you something. Check this out. Okay, so here I have a nice sheet of paper, and I have my pencil. Do you write with pencils at school? The nice thing about pencils is that you can write your name. Here I am. Oh, that's my name. Oh, actually, did you know that my full name is Nathaniel? That's my fancy $10 name. That's the name my mother would use when I was in trouble.
Nathaniel, and my middle name is David. And my last name is Preisinger. Wow, look at that. But you know what? I don't really like how I wrote my middle name there. In fact, I don't want people to know my middle name. I got to keep that a secret. So here, we can use this. Oh, what's that? It's an eraser. And we can erase it a little bit. Awesome. Yeah, and then you know what? I don't really want to use this name either. I just want to use this one. So I can scribble it out a little bit. That's another way to make it go away. And then, you know, I should probably just erase it altogether. But have you ever noticed this with pencil erasers? Is that when you try and erase it, sometimes it only does a little bit of it. It doesn't do the full job. See, you can still kind of see it. And this piece of paper is never going to be perfect again, is it? It's never going to look like it does up here. Okay, now check it out. Here's a whiteboard. And on the whiteboard, I can also write my name. Yes, that's me. And I can write my full name. It feels nice to write on a whiteboard. I keep this in my office so that I can write ideas down when they come to me, or so that I can draw pictures and try and play with different ways that I'm going to write the children's sermon, actually. Oh, here we go. See, I can write my full name. But then, I made a mistake. But there's an eraser with a whiteboard. And look at, whoop, super cleanly disappears. You knew that. Isn't that the fun part about whiteboards? It's like magic. You know how much I like magic tricks. See, watch this. Ready? And it's gone. Oh, one more time. And it's gone. Oh, I missed a little bit. No big deal. And the great part about it is, unlike a pencil and a paper, again and again and again, I can erase and just be left with a clean, neat whiteboard again. Whoo! And again. So here's why I'm telling you all of this. We need to forgive others. And that's a really hard thing to do. Like I said, I can't imagine what it must have felt like for Joseph to have to forgive his brothers like that. And yet he did, and he's a great example for us. In the same way, though, oftentimes when we try and forgive others, it's like the pencil and the eraser on the paper. We try our best to forgive and move on, but it can be really hard for us to let go. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't try, but it can be really hard. But the whiteboard was clean and neat, right? It was as if it disappeared. It was like magic. We need to remember that that's how God forgives us. Because sometimes we need forgiveness. We need to ask God to forgive us for mistakes we've made. And when we ask God for forgiveness, God cleanly wipes it away. It's perfect forgiveness. Now, that our forgiveness won't always look like God's. We can't always do it perfectly, but we still need to try. So this week, as we put our faith into practice, like we always do, your homework is to think about what you need to ask God for forgiveness for, and to think about who you need to forgive in your own life. And realize that this is going to be hard, that sometimes it'll be like that piece of paper where you can still kind of see some of the residue. It's not perfect, but know that God's forgiveness of you is always perfect. I'm Pastor Nate. This has been the Children's Sermon featuring the Usborne Children Bible, pencils and erasers, whiteboards and markers. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.